promises that I said I was going to record all of my layouts that I'm doing for this secret crafty basket Chinese whisper challenge we're doing. It's like the game of telephone, but with layouts. And I started to make this layout and I was like, oh shoot, I was going to record it. So I'm going to tell you what I've done so far, and then I'll continue on with the process video. This is what I had given to me from the person above me in the list. So we get a list. There's like a list of names. I'm 5 out of 6. And so there's going to be, throughout the weeks, I'll get a new layout handed down for me, from the list, and it's going to change as it goes. So this is the layout I made. From this sketch, and then I passed it on. And then this is the layout, and so this is what I'm doing, because I don't have a lot of floral. I do have some floral pattern paper and everything, but I have a boy and I'm trying to get his stuff done. I will eventually kind of go back and try and get caught up on some other stuff, but right now I have some stuff out and I have things I want to scrapbook right now. So it's a lot of boy stuff. So I took this floral layout and decided to do a similar, like, pieced together big cluster of items, background that is stamped a little bit here. So I did that, and I decided to use this Paper Issues hexagon cut file, and I kind of rearranged it. I'm going to outline the words in pen and all of these things in pen so they pop a little bit more. I thought about doing it with inking the edges, but then I wouldn't be able to do the inside, and I'd still have to do pen, just so they pop a little bit more. And what I did is I took this random, really cheap white ink, which isn't very white, but I like that it almost gives it a water print effect on my background. And I used this cloud stencil from Echo Park, I believe. So I did that, and you can, if you can't see it, I'll lift it up. And then playing with my light. And then I did the hexagons, and this took a lot of brain power, because what I did is on my silhouette, I arranged it how I wanted, and then I made 3 separate sheets on my silhouette and started dividing them up, so it was easier than just trying, because they're all different sizes and how they're arranged and where I wanted everything, and I wanted to make sure there weren't a lot of just one color blobbed in here. There's a lot more yellow on here, but that's what I wanted. So anyway, I created 3 separate sheets and then slowly deleted. It's hard to explain. Next time I do it, I'll just have to show you. But it took a lot of thinking and planning to get how I wanted this, and maybe there's an easier way to do that, and I know people will just cut out random of a shape and then arrange it, but I had a very particular way I wanted to do it, so I couldn't just do it random. So anyway, this is where I'm at, and now it'll be sped up from now on, so you guys don't have to watch all the tedious stuff. But I remembered as soon as I got all these glued down, I was like, oh shoot, I was gonna do a process video. So thanks for tuning in. Sorry for skipping all of that, but now you kind of got to hear an explanation of what I did, and I guess the next time I do something similar on my silhouette, I will kind of give a tutorial or show you how to do it. But I decided to keep the little pieces out of those letters. I'm like, you can tell what letter it is. They're not super obscure. And I decided, just for my own brain power and tediousness, I decided to keep the pieces out. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think about that. I don't know. I think it looks fine. All right. So here I go. All right. I sped this up, I think, 2, 4, I want to say 6 times, just because I didn't want to watch me doing it. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But I'm just outlining all the octagons, and then hexagons, and all the inside cutouts. So that one up that is right now in the upper corner, that will be in the bottom lower right corner, says today. There's another one that says, oh, hold on, let me find my layout so I can just look at it while I'm telling you. And then in the upper left, it'll end up being, there's one that says explore, be brave, be bold, and then there's 2 ampersands or and symbols as well. So it's explore and be brave and be bold is basically my title. And it's just of my kiddo. I planned on doing some photos of my kiddo going down some slides at our town festival because it's like one of his favorite rides. But yeah, right now I'm just doing that, and then I decided to ink the outside edge just to kind of anchor the entire layout then, since everything was outlined in black, to then ink the very outside edge. So here I am with my photos, and I didn't want them floating. This was a very neat kit and a very neat collection of papers and colors, and very primary, very boy. And it had some random ephemera pieces that are all boy related too. I don't remember what collection they're from. I threw the packaging away, of course. I'm really bad at that. I gotta be better at that. I'm so sorry. And then this other piece of paper for my scraps that I kind of went through. That's the red. So now I'm just trying to put together where I want my pictures, and then you see the layout that I have to lift or use as inspiration, or however we want to do it, like the game of telephone. So I can change things, that whatever I take from inspiration is how I'm supposed to do it. And we had a lot of people already asking too, well, are we supposed to stick to as close as possible? It's like, no, do what you want, but this is your jumping off point. So you should be able to tell that that's where you jumped from, but it doesn't have to be identical. And I feel bad for all the other people that are on my team, because I don't know if they have boys or if they scrapbook boys. But I tend to not do a lot of florally because I have a boy. I did just do a layout when I'm doing this voiceover. It's still July. I did just do a layout that I put florals on a boy page. Oh, but it was very simple, and it turned out really, really good. And the way I did it, I am okay with. But I'm not gonna do big like rosettes like on my inspiration layout that I was given on any of my son's pages, unless it really warrants it. So this was very boy rough and tumble oriented, because it was all about a carnival ride and the slides. And so yeah, so I anchored my photo, and then like in the inspiration, she's got some layers behind it. I anchored it on that one strip, did a couple layers, and then I put that on adhesive foam when I put it down. And I wanted a good journaling spot, and then it turns out not to be my journaling spot. But it was just another good layer to add. And then had, like, not accidentally, but happenstance, kind of cut a tag or a banner flag out of that stripe. And so I was like, oh, I could do little banners. They do move to below my photo though. And one thing, so when I started this one, I really had in mind, I really want to do the hexagons, because I've seen a lot of layouts with hexagons, been dying to do hexagons. And as soon as she sent me these florals, I was like, perfect. I have that cut file. I'm just going to do a big wraparound of hexagons and a little cluster in the right and the bottom. It's going to work great. And then I also had this branding strip that says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I thought like the countdown almost about when he was going to slide. And he would shout to us from the top of the slide, 1, 2, 3. And he's always been a kid who doesn't stop at 3 and say go. It's always been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. And sometimes he would even count to 9 randomly when he was even younger. He liked the counting concept and wanted to just keep counting. So I decided to put that on the top as something up there. And because I really wanted to incorporate it, and I wasn't really sure where else I could have incorporated it. I could have, I guess, put it as part of the shelf that my photos are sitting on, but then that would cut into the words. So I thought on the top was good. And then I add a little flare button that says go, which I don't know if these flares that I have, I don't know how else to attach them. This one was really hard. There's like too much of a gap. So I should have used adhesive foam tape, but I didn't. Now trying to figure out my title. And I had those foam thickers that I kind of have on my desk to use up. And the white just washed out with the pale blue in the background. And so now, and I have that Perfect Day, which kind of goes, that's a really old cut apart, I think it's pattern paper. It's not technically cardstock. It's really thin, but it's like those punch out. It was one of those, it's like 6x12 sheets that's folded in half in a packaging. And you've probably seen it on a couple of my other videos. I think I pull it out because I have it. I had never touched it before, so I keep always trying to dip into it. So I brought that out, wanted to use some of this ephemera from this boy ephemera I got. I think I got that from somebody from the scrap room from a drawing. Yeah, a few months ago. And I love it because it's all boy stuff. Yeah, so trying to just go through that, figure out what I can add. And the hexagons really embellish the page as well. So I didn't want to add too much, but I did want a few little clusters because I'll have down at the bottom right hand cluster where the today is, and then that's actually ends up where my journaling goes because I end up using that like turquoisey tag underneath the photo, not as a journaling spot, but just as another layer for a cluster. I circled the July. I don't know if I pointed that out because it was in July. This is Festig, which is the Festival of Agriculture. It's always in the middle of the week. It's at my mother-in-law's or in-law's hometown. So we always go down for it. So I'm just putting a little cluster kind of over there. I had these brackets that I had cut out, I think a long time ago. And on the other side was a pattern that I don't even think I have anything that coordinates with it. It was such an odd pattern. So I was like, oh, white, it'll be perfect. And I only use 1/2 of that frame. And then do up a little cluster over there under Explore, since that's it's like I have 3 different titles going on here. And I'm okay with that nothing's like blatantly, obviously, my title, because I have the Today cut out, which isn't really a title, but it's big enough it could be. And then I have that adventure underneath the pictures right now, but I will change that out to a different ephemera because I found that rocket and I really liked the idea of the rockets, and I'm not really sure where else I will use rockets. He's never been like a rocket kid, not yet at least. It's always been dinosaurs, trucks, cars, trains, things with wheels, and then dinosaurs. And now lately a lot of sea creatures and sharks he's kind of into too, but it's been more monster trucks and dinosaurs for a long time now. So then I found this other piece of ephemera that says Let Him Be Wild with another rocket, and then I can add another rocket down in the right hand, which I did by the Today. And then I did a little cluster kind of by the Explore and Be Brave and Be Bold. That just is Here We Go with that other banner piece, and then it's like an arrow. And I added more of the arrows because I have a ton of these chipboard sticker arrows. So but yeah, that is where I'm at. So just kind of getting all those pieces down, figuring out, hey, I'll just journal right here on this little hexagon by this rocket. And I thought that worked perfect. It didn't really take away from anything else, but it was there. And that is it. So thanks for watching. And it's going to be really fun at the end of this month. I will put together a video of all the layouts like I created, and then what my original layout turned into after it went through my 5 team members. But thanks for watching again, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.